Good morning. Coming to you again from Discipline for Success. We're actually looking this morning at some thoughts that I have about self-rule and living in the kingdom of God, in control of yourself and not being under the control of the world. I had a conversation with my son this morning, and he said to me, Daddy, I learned that I am my own worst enemy. I believe that's true of all of us, that we are our own worst enemies. Yet we believe that it's us. Remember, I said yesterday about the battle that took place in the Garden of Eden, the will of God, the will of Satan, and the will of the human beings that God had created. I believe if you look at any religion around the world, they will tell you that there's an origin of evil, and the origin of evil is has come with the battle over the human will. If you think of yourself as being guilty and beat up, just know that it's not God that beats you up. It's not God that wants your destruction. It's the enemy that wanted to deceive the human being to get back at God, to deceive us so that we would believe we're not worthy, that we're not living in a place where God is accepting of us. If you want to have a friend, be a friend. First, be a friend to yourself. When Adam and Eve walked in the Garden of Eden, they had daily a friend in God. And God's friendship caused him to come down in the cool of the day and talk to Adam and Eve. When they were deceived, they lost that opportunity. But we have again an opportunity to have this friendship, this fellowship with God. If you learn to be your best friend is always going to tell you the truth. Your best friend is always going to tell you the way that you can go to benefit yourself and to benefit others. If you are your best friend, you can't really have any enemies, because you realize that the enemy of your soul is also the enemy of their soul. And if the enemy is trying to deceive you, he's also trying to deceive them. Religion has been for us a great deception because we have learned to set up monuments. You remember when Jesus was on the Mount of Transfiguration with the disciples, and they said to Jesus, being amazed that he had a conversation with Elias and Moses, and being amazed that God would speak to them. They said, let us set up three tabernacles, one for you, one for Elias, and one for Moses. Today we are still setting up tabernacles. But remember, the voice of God came from heaven. Elias and Moses disappeared. He said, this is my beloved son, hear ye him. I believe that if you look at where we are going in the world today, that as evil increases, there's also the increase of invitations to not fall in the trap of the negativity, to not fall into the trap of beating yourself up. I said to my son this morning, I said, uh, we can be stuck in a rut so long that we don't see the miraculous or way out. But if you remember the story of Jesus with the man who had been lame 38 years at the pool of Bethesda, Jesus asked that man a question to us that would seem ridiculous. Do you want to be made whole? I've been here. Every time this water is troubled, I'm here trying to get in. 38 years I've been in this condition. And I said to my son, one thing that I believe Jesus was really asking the man, he says, do you believe in miracles? If you believe in miracles, it's possible for you to get up and walk. Now, the miracle is take up your bed and walk. The miracle is be your own best friend. Your miracle is don't fall for the deception of the enemy. Anything that is negative that you know does not come from God, throw it away, because that's an enemy. Those things that come from God, embrace them. The Bible tells us in Galatians 5:22 and 23 that the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, temperance, faith. And then it says, against such there is no law. These things will cause your days to be joyful. You will not beat yourself up. You will not condemn others. You will live as if you were in the Garden of Eden and you're fellowshipping with God. I'm going to end it here. I said 5 minutes, and I pray that God will bless you to see yourself as a friend.